All right, let's dive into this whole no contact thing. But let's be clear, this isn't some cheap self-help guide. This is about understanding the raw, unfiltered truth of human connection, attraction, and the games we play, whether we admit it or not. So grab a drink, light a cigarette, and let's get into it. The myth of no contact. Here's the deal. A lot of guys think that if they suddenly ghost a woman, she'll come crawling back, realizing what she lost. It's like some twisted version of the art of war. Disappear and the enemy will panic. But here's the thing. Women aren't enemies. And this whole no-contact strategy, it's not some master stroke. In fact, if you're not careful, it can backfire spectacularly. No contact can work, sure, but only if you're doing it for the right reasons. If you're doing it as some calculated move to make her miss you, she'll see right through it. Women have this uncanny ability to sniff out desperation even when it's wrapped in silence. And let me tell you, nothing kills attraction faster than the stench of neediness. Here's the truth. If you're going no contact purely as a tactic, you're already losing. Why? Because you're handing her the power. You're sitting there counting the days, hoping she'll text you while she's out there living her life. And guess what? Women can feel that energy. They know when you're playing a role versus when you're genuinely unbothered. The moment you start using silence as a weapon, you're not being strong, you're being weak. You're trying to manipulate her emotions, and that's not how you build a real connection. Real strength comes from genuine detachment, not from some half-baked strategy you read on the internet.
The power of presence. So what's the alternative? It's not about disappearing completely. It's about shifting your focus. Instead of cutting her off and hoping she notices, you need to become so engrossed in your own life that she starts to feel the absence of your emotional investment. Think about it. What's more powerful? Vanishing into thin air and hoping she wonders where you went? Or staying in her orbit but being so focused on your own growth that she starts to question why you're no longer affected by her presence? That's the key. It's not about ignoring her. It's about making your presence so undeniable that she can't help but notice the difference. The psychology of detachment. Women are wired to seek men who exude confidence and self-assurance. They want someone who's rooted in something deeper than momentary emotions. When you react dramatically to her pulling away, it signals that your emotional stability is tied to her actions. And that, my friend, is unattractive as hell. But when you remain composed, when you continue moving forward without hesitation, it sends a different message. It tells her that you're not a man who's easily shaken, and that makes her rethink everything. It creates uncertainty, and uncertainty is the birthplace of attraction. The art of controlled indifference. This is where controlled indifference comes in. It's not about being cold or aloof. It's about emotionally detaching in a way that communicates strength and confidence. It's about shifting your focus away from her and onto something more meaningful without the need to make a grand statement about it. Most men fail at this because they think detachment means giving the silent treatment or acting passive-aggressive. But women can sense when a man is using absence as a manipulation tactic. They can tell when you're just waiting for them to notice you again. And that's not real detachment. That's disguised desperation. True controlled indifference is about reclaiming your emotional state. When she pulls away, when she tests your value by creating distance, your reaction determines everything. A confident man doesn't panic or overcompensate. He remains unfazed. He continues living his life, pursuing his purpose, and enjoying himself, not as an act of defiance, but because his world isn't built around her presence.
The role of uncertainty. Uncertainty is a powerful force in attraction. When a woman knows exactly how a man feels, when she knows she can have him at any moment, there's no urgency, no mystery. But when she starts to feel that she might have misjudged his level of interest, when she begins to wonder whether she underestimated his ability to move forward without her, that's when she starts to feel something different. That's when she starts to miss him. Not because he forced her to, but because he created space for her to do so naturally. And that's the beauty of this approach. It benefits you regardless of the outcome. If she comes back, it's on your terms. If she doesn't, you still win because you've built a life that's fulfilling with or without her. The danger of over-availability. Most men operate under the assumption that if they show more affection, give more attention, and express their feelings more openly, they'll receive the same in return. But the truth is, this approach often has the opposite effect. The more predictable and emotionally available a man becomes, the less a woman feels the need to think about him. This isn't because women don't appreciate love and loyalty. It's because human nature responds to uncertainty, challenge, and a sense of anticipation. Think about the things in life that captivate us the most. The thrill of a new challenge, the excitement of the unknown, the anticipation of a moment that hasn't yet arrived. These are the elements that keep us engaged. The same principle applies to attraction. When a woman knows exactly where she stands with a man at all times, when she never has to wonder about how he feels, a certain level of emotional engagement is lost. It's not that she wants to be mistreated or neglected, it's simply that predictability kills desire. The balance of emotional distance. This is why understanding the power of emotional distance is crucial. It doesn't mean withdrawing love or playing manipulative games. It means creating enough space for her to feel the absence of your presence. It means allowing her to miss you, to question, to wonder. Most men don't give a woman the opportunity to experience these emotions. They're too eager to fill every gap, to be immediately available, to reassure her before she even has the chance to feel uncertain. But in doing so, they rob her of the very emotions that fuel attraction. Women are emotional by nature. They don't fall in love with logic. They fall in love through feeling. And one of the most powerful feelings a woman can experience is the realization that she might be losing something valuable. When a man is too readily available, when he gives without restraint, she never has the chance to feel this. She may appreciate him, but she doesn't desire him in the same way.
The power of curiosity. This is where emotional distance becomes a tool, not for manipulation, but for maintaining attraction. A man who understands this doesn't give away his attention too easily. He doesn't rush to validate, to reassure, to prove himself. He allows space to exist. He allows moments of silence, moments of uncertainty, moments where she must question what he's thinking, how he feels, or whether she has his full attention. And in doing so, he triggers something primal: curiosity. Curiosity is the foundation of attraction. The moment a woman starts to wonder, to question, to feel even a hint of uncertainty, her emotions become engaged. This isn't to say that a man should be distant or cold. It's simply to say that he shouldn't be an open book at all times. He shouldn't reveal every thought, every emotion, every intention without allowing space for intrigue. The fear of distance. Men who struggle with this concept often fear that emotional distance will push a woman away. They worry that if they don't constantly reaffirm their presence, she'll lose interest. But the reality is the opposite. When a man is always present, always giving, always seeking her approval, she doesn't feel the urgency to reciprocate. She doesn't feel the excitement of pursuit. But when he creates just enough distance, when he remains slightly unpredictable,
When he doesn't always respond in the way she expects, she begins to feel something different. This is the moment when she starts to chase. This is the moment when she starts to invest emotionally, because in the absence of immediate validation, she must seek it. And in seeking it, she becomes more emotionally involved.
The key is balance. Too much distance, and a woman will feel neglected. Too little distance, and she'll take your presence for granted. A man who understands this doesn't withdraw affection entirely, nor does he smother. He creates just enough space for desire to grow, for curiosity to build, for attraction to deepen. This isn't a game. It's an understanding of psychology, of how human emotions work. It's an acknowledgement that attraction isn't just about love. It's about maintaining a dynamic that keeps both people engaged. It's about recognizing that space isn't a sign of disinterest, but a necessary component of long-term attraction. The realization of loss. A woman doesn't forget a man who makes her feel something. And she'll feel something when she's given the chance to wonder, to miss, to experience the pull of anticipation. This is why the men who are too readily available, too eager to please, often struggle to maintain a woman's interest. They remove the very element that keeps her emotionally invested. The moment a man understands this, his entire approach to relationships changes. He no longer fears distance. He no longer feels the need to prove himself constantly. He trusts that his value is recognized not through words, but through presence, or the absence of it. And when a woman feels that absence, when she begins to crave the presence that was once constant, she realizes something powerful. She doesn't want to lose him. And that realization changes everything. The final word. So, here's the bottom line. No contact isn't some magic bullet. It's not about disappearing and hoping she'll come running back. It's about shifting your focus, about becoming so engrossed in your own life that she starts to feel the weight of your absence. It's about creating space for her to miss you, to question, to wonder. But more than that, it's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't need her validation to feel complete. It's about building a life that's so fulfilling, so rich, that her absence doesn't diminish it. And when you do that, when you become that man, you don't just make her miss you, you make her regret ever letting you go. Cheers.